The RPG After Years is part of the We Can Make This Work Probably Network. Find out more at probablywork.com.
Welcome to the RPG After Years, your weekly show covering all things RPGs from the past, present, and future. This is episode 74. I'm Scott.
And I'm Rich.
Today we're going to be covering all the latest and greatest RPG-related news. It's been a minute since we had a regular episode, so we need to just catch up a little bit. And later we'll convene the RPG Club to discuss the third section of the classic SNES RPG, Secret of Mana. But before we hit the news, why don't we do a little bit of a catch-up? Rich, what you been playing this week, dude?
Oh, man, I've been playing a lot of one thing, and that is Secret of Mana. And then I also played a little bit last night. The beta came out for Back 4 Blood.
Oh, really?
Left 4 Dead reimagined it.
I thought that came out like 2 or 3 nights ago.
The beta?
Yeah.
I think it kicked off. Yeah, it kicked off a couple nights ago. Gotcha. I didn't know about it until somebody told me about it. I was like, I gotta go try that. It's not bad. It's got some kinks to work out, but it can get challenging, but it's pretty fun.
Okay. Well, Corey was really into the Left 4 Dead games when he was a youngin', and he still breaks them out every now and then. So I'm wondering if it's going to end up standing up to those games.
It does have a lot of the Left 4 Dead feel to it because, I mean, it's by the same people that did it. So,
yeah,
I think it's going to be good.
Okay. Well, I got a frog in my throat. I guess we'll probably end up picking it up if it does indeed seem to like get good reviews and everybody likes it.
And then maybe we could play together.
That would actually be fun. We still have never done any kind of gaming together as co-hosts.
What else have I been playing? Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
That's it, my man.
Okay.
Nothing too much for me. Well, I mean, yeah, we also just recorded an episode like a week ago, or a couple days ago.
That's true. What, it was like Tuesday probably or something?
Yeah, basically.
So, yeah. All right, well, things are actually starting to get back to normal a little bit in Casa de Scott and Corey. We're actually got back to gaming. We sat down and played Metal Gear Solid 4 some more a few days ago, and Corey was like, "Is this the first time we've played a video game since we moved here?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, it is," because normally that's like a nightly thing for us, just about. Yeah, so we've been playing some Metal Gear Solid 4, and I'm really digging that. The way it was I'm a big Metal Gear fan. And the way this was originally envisioned was supposed to be like the conclusion to the series. So there's all kinds of like returning characters from the first one, which is like my favorite one. And just all the plot threads like coming together. It's really cool. And the gameplay is not bad either for Metal Gear. Of course, been playing Secret of Mana. We'll talk about that more in a bit. Corey got the second big paint star in Paper Mario Color Splash. I'm still liking that game. It's better than I thought it was going to be, but it's just I'm going to be the basic bitch that says it's nowhere near as good as the old, more RPG-ish Paper Marios. I'm in the middle of the Pokemon Sword Crown Tundra DLC, and I just caught Calyrex, which is a legendary Pokemon heavily involved in the plot of that DLC. So that was pretty cool to actually manage to catch that thing. I was down to like my last Ultra Ball.
Ooh.
Yeah. Still playing Final Fantasy II on stream and making some progress in that. We liberated Finn, and I believe Layla just rejoined the party, so I'm going to have to go do her bonus dungeon soon. But I'm excited to be making some progress in that. And then, of course, for the podcast, been playing some Live Alive, which did the Cowboy and Wrestler chapters, and also finished the Ninja chapter. So I will say the Ninja chapter was pretty bad. It made me, I was like actively mad by the end of it. But the Cowboy chapter was actually pretty fun. And except for I forgot to save right before the boss, and then died and had to redo it all over again.
Uh-oh.
And Wrestler wasn't that bad. It required some luck. So that leaves I think we're about halfway through the game or so. But yeah, the golden years are progressing. Can you believe?
It's crazy because I haven't played a single one in a while.
It's a pretty good game. I'm not sure I think it's as good as the hype might have led me to believe, but
you gotta be careful with Bill's hype.
That's
true.
It can
be very misleading.
Well, I mean, it's one of angry ass black dude's favorite games, and Disa also was a big fan. So,
well, there's some good, solid, hype from them. So could be good. Yeah. Bill just gets hyped about everything.
I'm looking at the master list right now to see what's next. Looks like it's Metal Max Returns next. I'll probably skip past on that one. And then Shining in the Darkness. Finally getting back to one of the main games of actual 1991. Anyway, I probably won't be playing any of those either.
Yeah.
So that's about all I've been up to. I think I'm going to start a new game this week on stream. I'm not sure what. I'm torn.
Let me pick a game for you.
Well, I've got it down to a few choices.
Okay, what's the choices?
FF7 Remake Yuffie episode on hard, because there's a trophy for that. Okay. Metroid Zero Mission, because that's the only 2D Metroid game I haven't played, and Metroid Dread's coming out.
Yep.
What was the other one? There was one. Oh, Subnautica Below Zero. That's
not a new game. Well, Sub-Zero is. Did you finish Subnautica?
I did. It was amazing. Oh, and also, there was one other. I had it down to 4. Neo Twiwi. Of course, that's a long game, so I don't know if that's best for stream or not. I just know that Corey's not going to enjoy it, so I want to play it, but on my own time.
It's tricky.
We'll see what the people in the Discord think.
Okay. I'd say just flip a coin and just start picking them.
Do a randomizer.
Yep.
Anything else going on outside of gaming you want to talk about?
Not really. Everything else has been pretty low key besides work.
Yeah, I can feel that.
So just working my life away. Wish I'd play more games.
Yeah. Corey and I are, I told you this during the party planning, but we are having our first beach day right after we're done recording here. So yeah, excited about that. Okay. So in the way of announcements, the character theme for Final Fantasy poll, I think that ends this week. So you can finally go and see who the finals are going to be. Let me look in our Discord and see if we know what the final bracket is yet. Why can I never find the right channel when I'm trying to look at it? There we go. Bill posted a pic of what the final bracket was going to be. Here we go. So it's going to be Terra versus Rydia, and then Tifa versus Cyan, and then Garnet versus Cloud, and then Yuna versus Celis, Aerith versus Sephiroth versus Freya, Gilgamesh versus Auron, and then Locke versus Shadow. So I have a feeling it's going to come down to Aerith versus Terra at the end, which
probably
it's kind of predictable. But what are you going to do? I know there's a lot of fans of Locke's theme too, which I think I don't get that. And so I look forward to that this week. Other than that, the only other announcement we got is just the next announcement of the next checkpoint in the Secret of Mana RPG Club. So the next checkpoint is to complete the Grand Palace. That's due by Sunday, August 22nd. And we'll be covering the latest segment later in this episode, convening that club. So yeah. Okay, ready for the news?
Let's do it.
Hear ye, gather round for all your news. Stop your clatter and listen close. Alas, you won't believe your ears. Listen close for the news.
Okay, well, it's been a minute since we had a chance to do the news segment. We've missed a lot, so I decided not to throw anything in there that's super old news. But unfortunately, we need to open with possibly the biggest, but also saddest story that's happened since last time we did news. And that's the Activision Blizzard scandal. I don't want to belabor this one too much because it's kind of bad vibes. But we are going to do an aftercast about it at some point, I think. Maybe today, depending on timing. So if you want to hear our full thoughts on it, you can become a patron if you're not already. So anyway, basically what happened is the state of California sued Activision Blizzard over allegations of mistreatment and harassment in the workplace. So basically, the long and short of it is a lot of the top brass and even lower rank and file in Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, are basically misogynist pigs, just very bad men. Apparently, it's just it's a regular cultural thing within the company. I've heard of there was one woman who committed suicide after she was sexually harassed or something like that. Apparently, there was a whole deal called cube farm raids or something like that, where they would these group of guys would while on the clock would just get drunk and take turns visiting every cube in the block and harassing in various ways every woman on the farm. And apparently nobody did anything to step up and stop this shit. There was another story that broke about the Cosby Suite, which is they were at some kind of conference, and a bunch of the male employees gathered up and had a big framed photo of Bill Cosby behind them, and they're all drunk, and it's just I'm sure there's parts of this I'm forgetting about. But what's your take on this, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, bad all around. Definitely a very sad thing to do in the gaming industry, where it's already sought as a very male driven industry. Mm-hmm. Definitely not good for any females that want to actually break into the industry itself, and already having this type of atmosphere where no one stood up for it. I mean, I know companies across the country are this is not tolerated. It's immediately fired. Everybody does the best they can to make sure that doesn't happen. Where this company is a very well-known company in the gaming industry, and they're just shitting the bed all over the place, letting their employees run wild. And it's very despicable. It's not good for anybody, to want to, jump in as a female wanting to actually be part of the gaming industry and see, well, if I go in the gaming industry, I'm going to be subject to this kind of behavior. No, that's not the case at all. This is not tolerable at all. So I'm kind of glad it came to light for the state of California. I'm not a big fan of the state of California anyways, but it's good that they saw this. They said, okay, we're going to stop this right now. And I know there's a lot of changes happening with Activision Blizzard. There is, the CEO stepped down. There's a lot of those. I mean, if I was the leadership of that and I saw that happening, you'd have your own investigative team, but then everybody involved would be fired. I don't care if tenure or anything, you're done, get out. We're not doing that. That's the
problem, though. It extends up to the very highest levels of the company as far as the misogyny.
And that's why he stepped down. Mm-hmm. That's why that guy stepped down and everything. So if you're new, let's say you're a new CEO appointed by the board, I assume they have a board of directors. I would come in and clean house.
I mean, that's what they need to do. That's the only solution here, is to just probably from the position of middle management up, just completely replace everybody. But
I wonder what their HR was doing, because I mean, those women had to have, I would assume, would have stated something, unless they felt that they couldn't. So that's another thing too, is you have to be able to work in an environment that if you see something wrong, be able to go to HR and actually talk about it and not fear that retaliation. I mean, again, a lot of companies have zero tolerance on retaliation. You deserve to work in an environment where you don't feel these things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I even read like, so I could be completely wrong about this, but somebody like one of the top people in hiring or HR or something was like the former torture person in charge of torture of the Bush administration or something like that.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
So again, HR definitely did not do their job.
Yeah.
Definitely all upper management people involved with it. Done. Just kidding.
Let's hope
now,
so.
On the flip side, on the flip side of it, there's been a lot of talk of there was the walkout, there was the World of Warcraft sit-in, there's all that, and there's a lot of people saying like, well, we should just stop playing World of Warcraft. Okay, the idea is good, but in the end, what you do is you end up hurting yourselves for the game that you like, and for the people that are working that had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a weird kind of conundrum that you find yourself in if you're a part of that company. You're like you kept your nose clean, you've done everything, you were part of something. World of Warcraft was a big social thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. So
it just sucks that their most beloved game, the people behind it are basically disgusting animals.
Yeah, it's sad too. And we'll talk about this more in the aftercast because I don't want to get like super political.
Yeah, we're gonna get really deep into this.
But for me, it stops being politics when you're hurting people. Yep. Then it's just humanity or whatever. So on my part, I'm not trying to virtue signal in anything, but I do not plan on purchasing any Activision Blizzard games for the foreseeable future. And we've discussed between Rich and myself and also Bill, we've decided not to cover any more Activision Blizzard games on this show, which I don't think is a huge problem for us because not our favorite RPG company anyway, personally.
Nope.
But if you still want to play Activision Blizzard games, I do not hold that against you at all, listener. It's just, this is our choice. Maybe there will come a day where they right their wrongs and we'll go back to covering them. But now I might still play Activision Blizzard games I already own. Like I've already spent that money. And the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is the Crash Bandicoot trilogy and the Spyro trilogy that I have that I still want to play. But yeah.
Well, those were done by Naughty Dog, wasn't it?
The original was, but I think the remake is by Activision.
No, what sucks is because I like Diablo, and
yeah, I know that's.
I'm in a torn place. I'm in a torn place because I want to do. Yeah, I'm really. That might be my last thing I ever buy from them. Is that last one, because I agree. It's just something. It goes back to that conundrum of do I support? Like, I don't want to support these people and what they did, but also what about the people that did not do anything, that were a part of, that actually worked and didn't cause problems. So
it's definitely a nuanced issue.
Yep. We'll talk more about that.
Yep. So yeah, we won't be covering their games anymore. If more stories break about this scandal, we probably will cover that. But as far as their games, fuck them.
Yep.
All right. So if you want to hear us talk more about that, again, patrons will have access to the Aftercast, which is a bonus episode where we really say what we actually think. All right, but on to the next story. Rich, the Final Fantasies 1, 2, and 3 Pixel Remasters came out. Have you taken a look at them or tried to see anything? You're shaking your head.
Boo, no. Well, the reason why I do that, I don't like how Square Enix has handled this one, to be precise, is because they're like, oh, we're just going to do 1 through 3 right now, and then the others will come out. And then they said, if it's popular enough, we will put it on other platforms. F you guys, put it on Switch. You're going to sell a lot of them. I promise you.
They will eventually.
I know, it's pissing me off.
But
that is so dumb, in my opinion. It's just, we already have these remakes. We already have them on there. I know it fixes some of the issues on some of the mobile stuff, but like, come on. If you want to, I don't understand that mentality. I don't understand some of these marketing people are like, okay, we're just going to put it out a little bit at a time, and if we get enough attention to it, we'll put it the others. No, I would have gone to Switch right off the bat and said, let's put it on Switch, see how it does.
It's probably just a money-making model. Like, get the people
I get that.
They wouldn't otherwise buy it on Steam and PC to buy it first. and then put it on consoles, and then they'll rebuy it. So
yeah, I know. I have multiple versions of like Final Fantasy 9, but I don't get it
too. I think, like, for example, FF9 came to iOS and Steam first, and then a year later came to something else, or I
just want to know. I want to ask the marketing people, whoever handles that stuff. I would love to understand their business thought on it. Like, I do like to understand those things. But as a consumer, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, okay, you want to make a lot of money. Why not put it all at the same time? But there's a weird, probably profit margin, timeline of quarters of how they want to spread out their revenue. So, at least in my opinion.
I will say, as far as the games themselves, they do look better than I thought they would. At the end of the day, I still think the PSP versions of 1 and 2 and 4 are vastly superior, and it's just like, why couldn't they have just done something similar to that? Port those games, hell.
Yeah, I have them. I've never booted them up.
Yeah, and then of course the big thing about the 3 pixel remaster is it's actually a remaster of the original and not the remake, the 3D remake. So
the chibi one.
Yeah, so this is like the first time America has gotten a localization of the original Final Fantasy 3.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I've heard some people say that they prefer this version to the 3D remake, which wouldn't surprise me at all, because I'm not a big fan of those 3D remakes of 3 and 4 anyway. But that does present a conundrum to me, because I'm trying to play every Final Fantasy. I'll be done with 2 before long, and then that would be 3 next.
Ooh, you're gonna have to buy it.
Am I gonna play the 3D remake because I've never finished that one either, or do I play the Pixel Remaster? Or do I have to play both to say I've beaten every mainline Final Fantasy? I don't know.
Ooh, we should put that out as a vote.
No.
Let it to be decided.
I'll be punished.
No. I think you should do the Pixel Remaster.
You think so?
Because it's the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
And it would look good on the stream, I think, for
probably pull in more people.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's because it's also the 3 remake has a better, more visual excitement going on, but it also looks like shit, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like the design on it. So me personally, I'd prefer the Pixel Remaster version. So
you just lose a little bit of story because Lunith and Refia and all them didn't exist in the original version. So they tried to make it more exciting story wise for the 3D remake, but it's still like bland toast. So
yeah.
Oh well. Okay, well, I think it's this fall when the 4, 5, 6 remasters come out. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 4 will be inferior to PSP for sure. 5 might be better. I don't know, because we've never gotten a great-looking version of 5, really. 6 will probably be definitely terrible compared to how beautiful the SNES one was.
We'll see. But it will be really nice when they put it on the Switch. I will have almost every Final Fantasy on my Switch at that point. I need it.
I guess it's only 11, 13, 14, 15 that won't be on Switch at that point.
And eventually the 13 trilogy will be on there. Let's just be real. We've stated on the podcast it's going to happen. I expect the acknowledgement from our community that we predicted it.
Keep that hope alive, Rich.
It's just every day I wake up just like, come on, let's today be the day.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
That's right. All right. So Mass Effect Legendary Edition sold well above expectations. So I purchased it. I haven't really played too much into that. Honestly, I think, Scott, you should play this on your stream, but is what it is.
I have so many things I want to play. I bought it too, but
I've booted up a little bit, not too much, but I mean, it's such a very well-received trilogy. So it sold well. So that's a good thing. I don't know if they realized it was going to do that, which kind of garnered the hype probably for the new one that's supposed to be coming out next year. Or not, maybe not next year, the other one at some point. So Electronic Art, I hate EA. So that's another company I'm not a big fan of, but I do like BioWare and some of their things. So if you haven't ever played a Mass Effect game before, I recommend it. I'm still going to try to finish playing them too at some point. The concept and the stories and everything is well loved by the community. So if you're on the fence about it, I mean, give it a whirl. Why not?
Yeah, I definitely want to play it. I just don't know when.
Do it on stream.
I think that's something Corey would like to play too, though, or enjoy watching. So maybe. And I wonder if this means that we can expect the series to continue thriving. Like we'll get a Mass Effect 4 at some point, or
no, there's supposed to be. Well, the Mass Effect 4 is technically Mass Effect Andromeda, which sucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did already say that they're working on a new Mass Effect, didn't they? Okay,
yeah, which is basically the reason why they did this is basically to flex themselves a little bit, probably on getting prepared for the 5th one. So we'll see.
Right. Okay. So that's exciting for Mass Effect fans, I reckon. But yeah. Okay, so the next thing is this is kind of an older story at this point, but Atlas launched a Persona 25th anniversary site, and it had like a graphic of the main character of each Persona, and then like a blank spot. So, and they also said that they teased like 3 new Persona games, or projects at least. So people are thinking at least one of these has to be Persona 6, one would think. I feel like it's time. It's been a while.
How long has been 5 been out?
Well, it was originally a PS3 game. So
what?
Yeah, it just got ported to PS4. So
I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because of the art style, it's easy to like just assume, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll get one of these announcements in autumn 2022. Jesus, that's forever. Before that, there will be one in September of 2021, or maybe that's when we'll get. I don't know. Looks like we're getting all kinds of announcements. I don't really have any predictions other than, Persona 6. I don't know what else it could be. Like, they could do? I guess they could do like a remake of Persona 1 and 2 or something.
Well, I'm really surprised though that there hasn't been any Persona games on the Switch besides Persona 5 Strikers.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I mean, that's just
it's kind of weird
at this point. Yeah, I don't know what
because Atlas has. That. Yeah, I mean, Atlas has a lot of games on the Switch.
Mm-hmm. It's weird to put Persona 5 Strikers on there in the first place because it's a direct sequel to Persona 5, and I really don't see any reason why Persona 5 couldn't run on Switch. It's like some kind of. I think we've talked about it before. I think Sony probably has paid them off or something. But yeah, that'll be exciting. Corey and I really loved Persona 5 Royal, and Strikers was pretty good as well. I want to go back and play 4 as well at some point, but
I have 4. It's on your it's on the Vita, and it's also on Steam.
Yes, so
it's on sale, I think, on Steam.
And then I guess they could do like a Persona 5 Arena game because they did a Persona 4 Arena fighting game, so why not 5?
Yeah.
That's about all I can think of. But again, I'm not like I don't know everything there is to know about Persona at this point. So
I imagine those stories are just ridiculously hard to put together because they're so long.
There's definitely some major twists, but it was a really good story at the end of the day, or at least Royals was. But we'll keep our ears to the ground and see what these announcements are. It won't be that long. One of them's due in September, so
yeah,
we'll see. All right, another major game that came out, Neo: The World Ends With You, which I briefly alluded to earlier. I haven't played it yet, other than I did play the first half of the demo when they released that. Not sure how I feel about it yet, but as a World Ends With You fan, this is like a dream come true. Like, I thought we were never going to get that sequel. And I've heard people that are playing it are enjoying it. So the only thing is there's a lot of dialogue, and I don't think Corey's too into it because there is voice acting, but it's only for like semi-important-ish scenes, which is unfortunate. I really thought they would hoped they would go all the way out. I think if the whole thing was voiced, then like Corey would probably like it more. But oh well. I know Brandon's been playing it. He said he's a pretty big fan.
Yeah, he said he really likes it.
Yeah.
I'm curious. So, I might try to find a copy of the other, The World Ends With You, the first one.
Yeah.
On my, did you say it was on 3DS or Switch?
It was originally on DS, and then it has been ported to Switch.
Okay.
I think it might be on PlayStation as well, but I'm not sure about that. That sounds wrong now that I say it. But yeah, it's my favorite DS game, and it was really good. It has a really good story. and it's not that long unless you try to do like completionist stuff. So
does it play better on the DS or the Switch? Like a lot of people say there's difference. Okay, I'm just curious. Maybe I can find a DS copy of it.
So the problem is, the DS game was originally very heavily reliant on touch controls. So if you play it docked, like on your TV on the Switch, you have to use the pointer, which is not nearly as accurate. It's still doable. I was able to, learn it, how to do it and shit. You could play it in handheld mode on the Switch and still get your touch controls back, and that works a lot better. But usually play docked. But yeah, I'm excited to play it. It'll hopefully sooner rather than later.
All right, so some big news out of the Nier Automata. The promised PC patch has landed on the 15th of July. So add support to the 4K resolution, borderless video settings, cutscenes have been updated, global illumination. So, and a lot of bugs have been fixed. So you remember, back when we had the RPG Club for Nier, Jay had a big problem playing it on the PC. Mm-hmm. And he had to do some things here to make it work. Definitely was not the most fun port probably for this game. The PC port was just garbage, which then it was launched on Xbox Game Pass, right? And then everybody's like, okay, why is it running on this, but you can't get it to run on the PC? So it's all been fixed. We did a
story about how the Steam version had been review bombed after the good version was posted on Game Pass.
Yeah, so it's been fixed. So if you have it on the PC, your patch has landed on Steam. It was the HDR was fixed, anti-aliasing, UI textures, cutscenes, ambient oculization and bloom. Some terms I don't know what they mean. Let's see, bug fixes. It's possible to switch between your recently selected display modes. That's easy. Mouse cursor is no longer displayed when using a gamepad controller. Frame rate has been stabilized to 60 frames per second under default settings, and just other little things too. So if you've been like, I've had this game on PC, but I don't want to buy it on the other system because I already have it, it's fixed, or it should be fixed. So go play it.
Yeah, and I've been seeing Nier everywhere lately. I think it's on its way to being one of the biggest RPG series. A lot. Yeah. I still want to play Replicant. I finally got my copy that have I told you the story where I pre-ordered Nier Replicant and then I didn't get it until like a couple weeks ago?
No, I didn't know that.
It was GameStop, Rich.
I haven't. I canceled my pre-order with them. So
they
with it,
they did this thing where I didn't get my game, and after like a few weeks after the release date, I emailed support or whatever, like, hey, what's going on? And they were eventually like, oh, we're so sorry, we'll take care of it. And then, would you like a refund or a replacement? I said, well, I still want the game, so a replacement, please. And then didn't hear anything again for a few weeks, and I checked on it again, didn't get a reply. Finally, I had to call in to customer service, and they finally took care of it. But
that's good.
Jesus, it only took 5 months. Good thing I wasn't like chomping at the bit to play it necessarily. True. Anyway, the saga continues. Final Fantasy X-3 has been teased yet again.
Lame.
I feel like they mention the idea of Final Fantasy X-3 like once a year, just about. But basically what happened was, I think it was Katase? Let me make sure. No, it was Nojima, who said that basically they have a plot synopsis already for the entirety of X-3, and they also said that the possibility of it being made is, quote, not zero. So basically what they're saying is they'd want to make a X-3, but they can't even think about it until the 7 remake is over, more or less.
Yeah, damn straight.
I mean, I get that, but also it's like, what are they waiting on? Does Nomura have to be the one in charge of it? I'd rather he stay away.
He probably has to be. It's part of his contract.
Yeah. And then a lot of people are like, they don't even really want a X-3 because of how 10.2.5, that novel and the audio drama set it up. It seemed like it was like a really stupid plot setup. So
I guess I don't remember that. I never looked into that. You have to tell me about that.
The long and short of it is, Tidus and Yuna they break up for a little bit, and then
but he's dead.
At some point, Tidus kicks what he thinks is a blitz ball, but it's actually a bomb and blows his head off. And so Yuna has to do like a sending to bring him back, and she ends up bringing back like everything from the far plane, including Sin, back. So that's how the 2.5 ends.
So what you're saying is 2.5, Tidus is stupid and can't tell between there's a blitz ball and a bomb.
Something like that. I think they also introduced like a character that claims to be Orin's daughter or something. So I mean,
Orin probably, had a little bit of fun. He probably got a little randy.
I'm down with it though, because as stupid as that is, like I want a 10-3. I can't imagine a Spira in modern graphics. I mean, I can't imagine, and that's why I get a little hard over it. But yeah, hopefully we'll see it one day. I know a lot of people don't, but I'm a super fan. I'm just like, whatever, give it to me.
Just do it. Just let me have it.
And I'm sure we'll hear about this again next year.
Okay. So Bravely Default mobile game incoming. Because why not? Why not have another game that's doing really well and make a mobile out of it?
Yeah.
So Bravely Default Brilliant Lights, a free-to-play mobile, is acting as a 10th anniversary project for the Bravely Default series. No release date yet for English. Closed beta test will take place soon in Japan. Bigger thing is the Bravely Default series has announced its 3 million unit sales.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I think a lot of people are frustrated by the Bravely series right now. I think Bravely Second came out not Bravely Second. Bravely Default 2. Is that what the newest one?
That's the most recent one.
Yeah. Bravely Default 2, I think a lot of people really liked it. A lot of people not so much. It didn't come out to like the same acclaim as the Bravely series is used to. And people are still wanting Bravely Third because apparently Bravely Second ends on a cliffhanger. It's just like, give us Bravely Third. I still haven't played any of them though. I just know it's a huge RPG series at this point.
I've got all 3 of them, so
I'll play it one day. Eventually. Yeah.
Play it on stream.
We're gonna.
Sorry.
I'll just play this Bravely Default mobile game on stream. How about that? All right. This is an interesting one. So Genshin Impact, the Chinese mobile game that's a Breath of the Wild knockoff that has managed to garner quite a big following. They've announced a new crossover guest character. And so, yeah, they're adding in Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Random.
Very random. It's like, Aloy? Really? Why? I mean, it's cool. And somebody was telling me in the Discord that Corey and I should play Genshin since it's so similar to Breath of the Wild. But I don't know. It looks like discount budget Breath of the Wild to me.
I mean, it's on your mobile. It's also on your PlayStation. It's on PC. It's about to be on Switch.
I mean, Aloy's a cool character. She's badass. But
but why Aloy? It's just a random person there. But it's like them saying, let's just put Crash Bandicoot in. That's fine.
Throw in Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
He's my waifu. No.
Yeah.
Speaking of this, unrelated story. So Fortnite has been getting all kinds of guest characters lately, right? Just out there.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, there's one random one I'm going to tell you about in a second.
I think they just added Cammy and Guile from Street Fighter. Not that long ago, they added Rick and Morty, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if this is the one you're talking about. They're adding Ariana Grande.
No.
Okay, so the reason I found this interesting. So Ariana Grande was a guest character in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, right? Mm-hmm. So now Ariana Grande is a guest character in Fortnite. Does this mean Fortnite is a Final Fantasy?
I freaking hate you. No, it is not. It is not at all. That's like all of a sudden, I bet you anything they'll put Final Fantasy characters in there at some point.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't know either. So,
here's a special guest that I'm surprised about with Fortnite. If anybody knows, I'm a big fan of Brandon Sanderson's books that he does. Yeah. So the Mistborn series, they put Kelsier in it. Kelsier and Vin. I think Vin's in it, but Kelsier is the main character of the first book. of the Final Empire. So I'm a little surprised by that. Because it's a book series, and not a lot of people have heard about those.
It is pretty random.
Yeah, it's just
is Kelsier like the main character?
The first book, yeah. Well, he's not the main character. He's a main character. The main character is Vin, which is a girl of the series.
So Fortnite
Kelsier is basically
Wheel of Time spinoff, is what you're telling me.
What's that?
Fortnite is a Wheel of Time spinoff?
No, Wheel of Time separate. Which honestly, I'm not surprised Wheel of Time hasn't showed up at there. Well, I bet you Robert Jordan, his estate would probably say go to hell.
Yeah,
so
probably. Oh well, but anyway, I just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to have a reason to talk about Ariana Grande being Fortnite,
of course,
Final Fantasy, and all that. Yeah. Okay, so this is your article.
This is me. So Yoshi P gives us some updates on Final Fantasy 16. Just a little bit of an update here. English voice acting almost complete, but British English was the priority. So what that means is Bill, his culture and his language will be in this. So
Bill actually
which I kind of like.
Somebody. Yeah. No, I like that too. The sad part is, of course, that originally when they said the English voice acting was almost complete, people took that to mean, the game's a lot closer to completion than maybe we thought. Because, usually the English voice acting is one of the last things that the localization and stuff is one of the last things that happens.
Yeah.
But
no.
Since they were targeting, this came out later, since they were targeting British English as the priority, it's like, no, that happened first. So I'm thinking, I know last year, and maybe even earlier this year, we talked about how there was a hope of 16 showing up, getting this year. Now I'm thinking, probably not.
No, I almost think part 2 is going to show up first, Final Fantasy 7, and then 16. Or if they want a juggernaut of a year of sales, both.
They sure could use it after Avengers, but
yeah. I think they made up for that.
I'm not sure if they would try to push both at the same time, though. It's the thing. Anyway, maybe they'll do a thing where like they'll have one more trailer and then it'll be like, okay, out in 2 months or something. I doubt it. Surely they would market it.
But I think they learned their lesson with 15.
Yeah.
With the delays and stuff that had with it. So I think they're being a little more cautious on marketing and things like that. Yeah.
Yep. Well, hopefully we'll see some more soon. I want to see more of the gameplay and learn more about what the game's actually about.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed. Okay, so there was a lot of stories about this game, Lost Judgment. To be honest, I don't really know a lot about it. Apparently, Judgment is a spin-off of the Yakuza series, which I didn't know about because, damn, there's already like 8 Yakuzas and some remakes and stuff. Did it need a spin-off series? But people really like it, apparently. But anyway, there was some kind of controversy where this new Judgment game, Lost Judgment, may be the last in the series due to like some kind of crazy talent agency dispute with the lead voice actor. Apparently they weren't happy that Sony released it on Steam, or is going to release it on Steam. I'm scanning the article. I forgot the exact details. Because apparently Steam is known to have some issues with Japan. I don't know. It's like, apparently Japanese talent agencies are just insane with like the kind of rules and regulations they put on their voice actors.
It's because they make a lot of money over there.
Yeah. Things like determining whether or not the voice actor is allowed to release images of what they look like, or making it to where if they have any kind of public appearance or dialogue at all, they have to run it through the agency first. Or things like you can't post on social media. It's insane. So I think a lot of people are really disappointed about this because the Lost Judgment kind of seemed like, oh, they're going to revive that little sub-series. That's awesome. And then immediately it's like, but maybe this is it. I'm trying to find the exact details of what the reason was for... It just I think it was just it got released on Steam and they didn't like it.
Maybe.
Oh well. Yeah. So I guess enjoy your judgment while it lasts.
All right. So if you really like Final Fantasy 14 and you're like on the fence of actually, jumping into it.
Have you heard of the acclaimed award-winning MMORPG Final Fantasy 14?
I have not.
Which includes a free trial up to the end of Heavensward with no gameplay restrictions.
Man, that seems... I think I have heard of that. If you have heard of that, it might be a little difficult for you to buy the digital version because I've never heard of this. The digital version sold out.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever seen that.
I think all this has been rectified now.
Yeah. So
it was really interesting when this happened to me.
So let's put it in perspective here. Final Fantasy 14 has been out since 2013. It is an 8-year-old game and it's still going really strong. It's about to rival, if not getting ready to surpass World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a lot of people migrating from WoW as well.
Yeah. Well, we know why.
Yeah.
Which is good. But it's also creating a lot of technical issues where it is a lot of people are playing the game, which is buying the digital stuff. It's crazy. I don't think I've ever heard of a digital code or a digital version of a game selling out.
Yeah, when you first hear that, you're like, wait, what? Of course, the real reason is because basically the servers couldn't handle the mass influx of people coming into the game.
So you couldn't create characters, you couldn't get into it, you couldn't do stuff. Yoshi P gave a transparent technical information about it. Overall, it's a good thing. Like, you may not think about it saying like, oh, that's stupid. Why is it, you should be able to do these things or be prepared for that kind of stuff. But think of it this way. That's more people playing this game, more people buying it, more people giving a monthly subscription to this thing, and could increase the amount of content that they put out for this. So sucks at first, but might be a blessing at the end.
Yeah.
So eventually you should play it, Scott.
Well, I want to. I'm thinking I might, after I finish Live Alive or Pokemon or something, start doing like Final Fantasy Fridays. Final Fantasy 14 Fridays, that is. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure I'm going to care for the gameplay of an MMO, but
you might like it. I don't know.
I know so many people that are playing it now that love it. Apparently it's got one of the best stories Final Fantasy has ever told overall.
I mean, you got Mo Raines likes it, and he's going strong with it. I mean, there's a lot of people starting to play it.
Yeah, I watch people play it like Mo Raines all the time, and I'm still, even though I've watched it for hours, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm watching. I don't know what he's doing. He's clicking the buttons and pressing the thingies.
You got to read stuff. So if you have to read, and there's not a lot of voice acting, so Corey may not like that, by the way.
That's why I wouldn't play it with him. It would probably be a stream game if I did play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that. And I know a lot of people also really appreciated Yoshi P being totally transparent with like this long article about the various technical issues and the server problems and all that.
But that's good that he's doing that. He came out and actually apologized and, going over details for it. You don't have a lot of people or a lot of gaming companies be like, tough shit.
Yeah, really.
We're going to fix it. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. Yoshi P is basically, this is his baby. So of course he's going to be very, honest and getting things done with it.
Yep. But that's it for that. And that was also our final news article. So let's go ahead and do the RPG releases. So here's what's come out in the last week. We got Dodgeball Academia, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC on August 5th. That sounds like an anime or something.
I think so, but it looked interesting.
Bless Unleash, that came to PC on August 6th. Book of Travels came to PC on August 9th, and that was entering early access. Godfall, which is a game I totally forgot about, that came out on PS4 on August 10th. And Black Book came to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on August 10th. So nothing too exciting and mixed in there. I know maybe some people were excited for Godfall, but I'm not.
I guess I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So the RPGs released this coming week is only one of them, which is Hades. That was a digital game that you could have got. Now it's got a physical edition. PS5, PS4, Xbox Series S, Xbox One, August 13th. I currently own it on the Switch.
I don't own it at all, but I think I've been convinced to at least give it a try. I've seen a lot of people playing that too, and everybody seems to love it.
It's kind of fun.
I don't think I'm a fan of roguelites, but apparently this is like, you will like this even if you don't like roguelites. I don't know.
Yeah, but those people say that all the time about the other type of games. Like, if you don't like these games, but you'll love this one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then I've also got a list of a few other games of note that came out since last time we did news. Disgaea 6 came out, which, as somebody who has recently completed Disgaea 1, I'm like, I'm good. And then East 9 came out. I didn't really hear a lot about it when it came out. I saw like one person say it was meh.
I have it. It's meh.
Say it's bad?
No, it's meh.
Oh, okay. That's too bad. I know it looked like it had a pretty high production value for...
Well, I haven't got too far into it, so I don't know. It might pick up.
And then Nier Reincarnation, the mobile game, came out. I know they were doing a promotion where you could get 2B at 9S or A2 as a character if for signing up early or something like that. But it's a mobile game. I don't even play Record Keeper anymore, which, as you know, I used to play every day. I just don't have time for mobile gaming right now.
But that's the future, Scott. Mobile gaming is the future.
No. Okay, I think that's all the news. So with that out of the way, we're going to take a quick break before we convene the third RPG club for Secret of Mana.
Hey folks, my name is Brett and I'm one of the hosts of Skeleton House, an audio-only Let's Play podcast where my two friends Jess...
What is happening? Oh my god!
...and Steve...
Even he looks spooked.
...play through video games, and I edit them, add context, and act as your eyeballs. Also, we have a cat. Come check us out at skeletonhouse.buzzsprout.com or look up Skeleton House on your favorite podcast app. Or your least favorite podcast app. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life.
And we are back. Rich, you ready to convene the club for the Secret of Mana?
Let's do it.
All right, everyone, quiet down. All rise. We're here today to bring to order the next session of the RPG Club. All in favor? All opposed? And looks like the ayes have it. Then let the RPG Club commence!
Okay, so again, this is our fourth RPG club, Secret of Mana, and it's our third segment of Secret of Mana. The checkpoint this time was to rescue Flammy. That was due by August 8th, 2021. Rich, what do you think about this section?
I would know.
You didn't make it again, huh?
I didn't make it again. I didn't have enough time.
Shame.
I like the game. I like it. I just can't get to it.
Did you finish the second checkpoint?
No, I didn't. I didn't get to that either. I have a gripe. Here's something that happened to me. Okay, if you're playing the Switch version, you have the quick option of the menu system to save, do like one of those save states, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful what your cursor's on, because I accidentally loaded. I was going to save, and I loaded a save state.
I've done that before, once or twice, probably.
Oh God, I had to stop. I got back to the last part that I was at. I saved, and then I noticed, I'm like, wait a minute, how am I here all of a sudden? And I realized what I did. I was like, son of a bitch. I was not happy. It was like an hour of lost progress.
Oh,
so I went back. I got to the spot where I was at the first time. I saved, and then I stopped. I was pissed off. I was like, I got to get back to the original spot. But today I don't have to do anything except clean my garage. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to relax, and I'm going to play this, and I'm going to power through 3 sections.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
And I can't get another strike. I cannot. I don't want to lose my nomination.
I thought I was going to have to take a strike for this section too. I was playing it pretty regularly. It's just like I didn't have enough free time this segment to actually get there almost. Like I was playing every time we got in the car. I was playing I was waking up in the mornings and playing it in bed. I also did a lot of grinding this time though. So, but I did make it. I didn't get there till like yesterday evening. I had to tell Corey, why don't you just hang out in the pool a little bit longer?
Here's a drink. Go to the pool.
Yeah. I will say overall, I am enjoying the game more. I think some kind of light clicked for me in this section, and I'm not saying I love the game, but I am closer to like than meh on it now.
That's good.
Yeah. I've gotten used to the terrible menu system. I've grinded up some, like all my magics maxed out, and that makes the game pretty easy. I think I'm overleveled, which I don't like being overleveled necessarily, but I also don't like getting stuck, which was the case for me for Spiky and Demon Wall and all that in previous sections.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I don't like the fact that your items that you can hold is limited.
Yeah.
I don't. I
get why they did that, but at the same time,
I don't like it.
But also, the one thing I'm still like really struggling with that I really hate is I don't know what to call it, but it's like the will it or won't my attacks connect. It just seems, well, that attack didn't do damage for some reason I don't understand. Let me try again. And I know it's tied to like the specific animation frames of the particular enemy, but it gets really frustrating when you're just, well, maybe 1 out of my 5 attacks will actually do damage.
It's like I'm right in its face. I'm hitting it. It should connect.
Yeah.
But
I really hate that. I know there were some apologists in the Discord. It's like, well, it makes sense that in real life you would miss about 50% of your attacks or 15%. And I'm like, I'm playing a video game.
No. This isn't real life.
Yeah. So where exactly did you get to?
I just getting to the multi or the upper lands.
Okay.
So I didn't get too far from where we're at, but I did do a lot.
The upper lands is the area where it's split into 4 seasons. Is it
correct?
Okay. Yeah. I remember that.
So I'll get there. It's not like you said, the sections aren't that long. You just got to get through some of the stories in the boss, gauntlet.
Yeah. And for the record, I haven't really had trouble with the game since Demon Face at all. I had to retreat from the Ice Palace in this section once because I was like getting gangbanged by a bunch of ghosts that were only vulnerable to magic. But I did make it out, and at that point I spent a lot of time just grinding all my magic up to the current level cap. I went to that little, you haven't been there yet, but there's this area of this winter forest that has a bunch of wolves in it that are easy to beat. And it's right next to a town, so you can just go back there and stay at the inn to recover MP and just do it over and over.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah, because I was noticing like there was a boss I used a spell on, and it was doing like 1 damage. So I was like, okay, my magic is supposed to be my insta win button, so maybe I need to power up my magic. Yeah. As far as the specifics of this section, you're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can remember some highlights here.
Let me ask you this while you're thinking of the highlights. Let me ask you, what do you think of the music so far?
I think it's good. I think it's good overall. I don't think it's great. If I had to rate it right now, I'd probably give it a 7.
Okay. Do you think it's with the point that you're at now, do you think the level of hype, not really hype, the love of this game is where it should be?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a classic, like nostalgic thing for me, but at this point, it took getting halfway into the game. I get why a lot of people really like it. Because if you think back to when this game actually came out, I bet this was like really advanced for its time as far as the mechanics of, the AI working with you and switching off all the different spells. Like I noticed you can do like 2 spells at once during this, and there's all kinds of like special effects going off, and I'm like, yeah, this was probably pretty advanced for when it came out.
Okay.
Do you have a differing opinion?
No, I'm just curious. I'm asking you because I didn't finish the checkpoint, so I'm quizzing you. So
you go to the desert in this section. There's an enemy there that I really hate. You'll see what I'm talking about, called spider legs, and they're sort of like antlion creatures that pop up from the sand that are like impossible to hit just about. There's a boss, the mech rider. He got a little annoying just because of how fast he flies back and forth. I didn't really have any trouble though. Just hit him with some lightning bolts. Lightning bolt. There's a village where in the ice country that consists of walrus people. So look forward to that. Then there's the Crystal Forest that we already talked about. Boreal Face, that wasn't hard. There's a segment where there's like this tropical resort town where it's like all rich people in vacation homes, and it's in the winter forest, but it's like a tropical spot in the winter forest. Turns out it's being powered by like the fire elemental. So you free it, and then it turns back into a winter resort, and they all leave. So that was interesting. Ice Palace didn't really have any problems. The Ice Palace has a lot of enemies in there where you have to use magic to defeat them. But at this point, since you can buy the fairy walnuts that restore MP, it's not that big a deal. Fire Palace, I didn't really think that there was anything of note there. And then you actually get to go to the Empire in this section.
Okay, you've been talking about it a lot.
Yep. There's 2 towns in this section, Southtown and Northtown. Here's a hot tip, Rich. Do not upgrade your equipment in Southtown because you will get to Northtown pretty quickly after that, and they have superior equipment.
Got it.
Although if you're like me, from all that grinding in the forest, it's like money's not an object anymore. Got the north. You go through the sewers. That was annoying for me because I got all the way to the end, just about, of the sewers, but I was playing outside, so I couldn't see super well. It didn't have my maps pulled up on the guide, the strategy wiki. I really like having the maps.
Maps are good. There's no map in this game.
Yeah, but because I couldn't see anything, I ended up turning around and going like all the way back to the dungeon, and it's like, oops. Then you get to the Northtown ruins, which are very similar to the Pandora ruins. You even fight another demon wall here.
Odd.
But this one doesn't actually try to crush you, so it's a lot easier. It's still probably the hardest boss in this section for me, though, because it still has all the stupid mechanics of how hard it is to hit the eyes. You fight a vampire boss, who I imagine would be very annoying if you didn't have magic, because the only time he's vulnerable to physical, he like flies around and then drops down to attack. So you can only actually attack him when he's on the ground, kind of. Then you go to the Imperial Castle. You get duped by the Emperor, who claims he wants a truce. Of course, that's not real.
That's never a good thing. You always know that. Same with Final Fantasy 15. They wanted a truce, and look what happened.
Yep. It reminded me of the part of Final Fantasy 6 where you have like the dinner with Emperor Gestal, and they throw Kefka in prison, and then it turns out to be like an elaborate ruse to get you to take them to the Esper village or something.
Oh, God.
You also meet a resistance at this point, but again, all the side characters are pretty forgettable in this game. They have like 10 lines of dialogue.
Oh, nice.
You do rescue Fauna in this section.
That's the girl with the purple hair, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you do meet Dialek and snap him out of it, but then he gets like taken again.
Okay.
It's funny because he like has the girl kidnapped, and then the boy, the main character, is like, "What's wrong with you? She loves you," or something like that. And he like literally he does like the attack animation on Dialek, and that's what snaps him out of it. Except for my weapon equipped to the boy at the time was the javelin. So it was literally like he threw a javelin at Dialek, and I'm like, okay, let's fucking kill him.
Yeah, that's how you kill someone.
Yeah. Hey, there was even a line like, "I'm too wounded to go help her right now,or something like that. I'm like, yeah,
probably with a javelin sticking out of his face.
Yeah. You fight a lot. I've noticed that some of the bosses now are starting to be like just recolors of previous bosses, which is a little disappointing.
To have a color up, you have one of the bosses, the 3 tadpoles. Mm-hmm. We've already fought those before.
Oh yeah,
and then the frost Gigas.
Yeah, wasn't there another Gigas at some point?
It's the same thing.
Yeah, and then at the top of the Imperial Castle, you fight the Mech Rider again, who is one of the lieutenants of the Empire. We've met him before. I can't remember his name. It's like Gastris or Grestral or Gashtin. I don't know.
Names are hard in this game because we don't know. We don't remember.
Yeah, but after you defeat him, he decides to burn the whole castle down. And at this point, it looks like you're fucked. But then the Mushroom King, Truffle from Matango, he shows up on Flammy, the white dragon, who is now fully grown and thinks that you're their parents. And he whisks you out of there. And basically this dragon is now your airship, so you can actually fly around the world freely at this point.
Nice. I look forward to that.
Yeah, I tested it out for a little bit. It was a little difficult to control, but I'll probably get used to it. I figured there was probably going to be some kind of airship mechanic, because when it does the cannon firing animations, it shows you like a what's that word? FX16 super chip map thing, 3D map.
Yeah.
Kind of like you would see in the other SNES Final Fantasies. I'm like, there's going to be a world map at some point. But anyway, that's about it for this section. Again, it's I'm coming around on it. I see the appeal. It's kind of fun. I don't dread playing it. We'll see how I feel at the end, and I'll be interested to see how you feel too, Rich.
Yeah. I'm going to plow through 3 sections. I'm going to get it.
Good luck, sir.
I'm going to get after it.
All right. Listener feedback. You want to launch us off on that? We only got a couple this time. I think everybody was busy yesterday.
Yeah. So Ben C says, this will end up being my favorite section. The world really opens up pre-Flammy. You get to rescue Santa Claus. And then, of course, the banger in the Mushroom Kingdom makes a comeback.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
Probably talking about the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this. You rescue Santa Claus in this section as well.
Sweet.
It's literally Santa. And then we also got some feedback from Frost. It says, coming off the heels of segment 2, where we were introduced to the Forest of Seasons, we get another breathtaking area in Ice Country's Frozen Forest, with its gorgeous visuals and probably my favorite track on the OST, A Wish. And for you, Frost, I've loaded that up as our transition after this. Other highlights from it was a very peaceful track. I'll give them that. Other highlights from this segment: Walrus People, the Mad Mallard enemy. Yeah, there's like a duck enemy that has like a soldier helmet on and a rifle.
Sweet. I can't wait to see that one.
The most obvious trap ever, which we talked about, and of course another demon wall. Ugh, the demon wall was definitely the hardest boss of this section for sure.
Good.
And then looks like we got some last minute feedback from Disa here. She says, loved this segment. It's so varied and colorful and lots of bosses. As flawed as the game is, I get why it is so highly loved too. All right. Well, I agree with her. I'm starting to get it too now. Although, I'm not sure if I like this better or more than World of Final Fantasy at this point.
I like it better than World of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, me too, I think. But I think the main reason World of Final Fantasy didn't work out is because it overstayed its welcome by a fair margin.
Yep.
I think the thing is, Secret of Mana is not really trying to have a good story. Whereas WAF pretended it was. So, anyway. So I guess that's about it for the RPG Club. Are you ready to adjourn this bitch?
Let's do this.
Oops. Let me try that again. Say let's do this again.
Let's do it.
All right, that's it, everyone. I think as of now, we're more or less back to normal on the podcasting schedule, which is nice. It's been a couple months of just weird craziness and flopping around trying to get episodes out.
Yep.
So what are we doing next week?
I don't know. You tell me, Scott.
Yeah, you're not going to be on next week, most likely. I think Bill and I are finally going to review Final Fantasy 1.
Woohoo!
So that'll be fun. It's been a long time coming. No mages went wild this time. So Rich is like, nope,
not happening. Nope.
So that'll be exciting. I'm not absolutely positive that's what's going to happen because I think it's going to hinge on Bill, but that's the plan right now. Again, one more reminder on the RPG Club. The current game is Secret of Mana, of course. The new checkpoint is to complete the Grand Palace, and that is due by Sunday, August 15th. Let me make sure that's right, actually. No, that's Sunday, August 22nd. My bad.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm just cutting you down. So let's go into our plugs. If you want to help the show, one of the best things you could do is rate and review the podcast on Apple Music or whatever your podcasting service may be. Preferably Apple Music. I think most of them have gotten rid of reviews at this point. But Give us 5 stars. Tell us what you like about the show. And it really helps the podcast because of the way algorithms and shit work. Perhaps an even better way to help the show, though, is our Patreon. You get early episode access, ad-free episodes, access to the Aftercast, which now that things are settled down and it's just me and Rich, we're going to be able to get those back out again on a more regular schedule. Again, we're recording one soon, going more in-depth about the Activision Blizzard scandal. There's lots of extra reviews. Corey and I are going to get back to doing those as well. You get to participate in the nominations and voting for the RPG Club. And we're still kicking around. There's lots more on there. For example, you get party planning, which is probably the 5 or 10 minutes of us talking before every episode. And lots more. We're kicking around some ideas. We're thinking about maybe doing some audio commentary tracks on like RPG related shit, like Kingsglaive. I think that would be really fun. That movie. I know. So I'll just be over there dissing it while you talk it up. I'll defend it. Yeah. But yeah, we'd really appreciate all the support and all the current patrons. You can find out more at patreon.com/RPG Afteryears.
And if you are catching us live right now, we stream every Sunday, usually at 9 a.m. Eastern on Twitch. You can find the show right now to see our beautiful faces and Scott's lovely hair at twitch.tv/RPG Afteryears.
We'd really appreciate that. And also I stream as well. So you can find me at twitch.tv/the_Scott_spot. So, and a lot of times I'm even playing podcast games for the podcast on those streams, like Live Alive. So check it out. We have a merch store. You can find all of our sweet swag over on Redbubble. Example, I'm wearing an RPG Afteryears tank top right now. And so lots of good shit. You can find that at redbubble.com/people/RPG Afteryears/explore.
You can email the show for any ideas, the topics that we can discuss. If you like the show, if you'd like to give us some information, just want to tell us what we're doing, you can email us at rpgyears@gmail.com.
Yes. And if you want to talk to us on a more personal level, we do have a Discord. You can find the link to that in the show notes or our pinned tweet on Twitter. We've been talking about Final Fantasy IX the past couple of days and whether or not it really is the best Final Fantasy or not.
Hands down it is. What the hell are you talking about?
No, it's not, Rich.
You just shut your mouth.
One more thing. Another way to help the show, we don't really ever talk about this, but tell your friends about us. If you got some friends that are into RPGs, tell them about it. I think, we may not be the best RPG show out there, but I think we're a damn good one. So
yeah, we're very consistent.
Spread the word. One last way, if you want to get in touch with us on Twitter, you can find that at RPG Years, and you can find me at the Scott Spot.
You can find me at HaleBlue1569.
Yes. But all right, that's it for episode 74. Again, next week we should be reviewing Final Fantasy 1, which has been a long time coming.
Yes.
And like I said, the mages didn't go wild, Rich. Until then, though, I'm Scott.
And I'm Rich.
And stick around for the Aftercast if you're on Twitch or here for the Patreon. We'll catch you guys there. Bye.